Shay, how much trouble are the Lakers in?
Look, we got to get back. The third quarter's been killing us. The intensity that we brought the first half, that wasn't there. They had a 2-point lead, and then they come out lackadaisical, and they get outscored 34-18. And so what was a 2-point lead going into the half, all of a sudden you go to the fourth quarter, you're down 14. Look, Stephen A., we talked about this the other day. Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, they are for real. And had they had gotten hurt, I'm not so sure. We're not talking about the Magic because they're good enough. With the talent that they got, those two guys could carry them to the fourth seed. I believe that. But that's saying the Lakers don't play any defense. They gave up 146 to Chicago. You saw Chicago just put it on Denver last night. They gave up 146 to Chicago. They gave up 118 last night. They're allowing teams to shoot 50% from the floor. They're allowing teams to get whatever they want. They're getting pounded on the glass. They're getting broken down off the dribble. Guys come to help. Now you got guys shooting shoot-around threes, or you got guys laying the ball up. They're not nearly as physical as they need to be on the defensive end. They got to get that defensive intensity back, and they've got to find a better way to start the third quarter, Stephen A. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Lakers 5. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. Don't act like you going through all of this basketball analysis. I'm waiting to see Lakers at 5. I don't see the confidence. I don't see the same bravado. I don't see you sticking out your chest. And it's a pretty big chest. So when you stick it out, everybody knows it. Don't give me what Molly asked you.
Don't bring me into this.
Molly asked you about. I just got to moderate it. Molly. Molly asked me a question. Moderator. I answered Molly's question to the best of my ability.
Can I ask you a question? Did Molly ask you about OKC? Yes. Did she ask you about UFC? Did she ask you about KFC? Did she ask you about PGA? Did she ask you about she didn't ask you all of that. It didn't stop you from bringing it up, did you? But suddenly, here you are sitting up there. Oh, man, we got to play. We can't play any defense. Oh, man, these guys got to go. Oh, you didn't know that weeks ago? I didn't hear that from you weeks ago. Here's the reality of the situation. The Lakers, with Luka and LeBron back over the last 2 games, have shot 52% from the field, and they're still getting outscored. They're not stopping anybody. Here's why it's alarming. They were stopping people for 7 weeks. They're the top defense in the league for about 7 weeks. What the hell has happened? What the hell has happened to create a kind of drop-off? Now, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say I believe in J.J. Redick. I believe in Scott Brooks and Nate McMillan and those boys. I believe that the supplementary parts surrounding LeBron and Luka are going to get it together defensively. I believe that, okay? So I still got the Lakers as the second best team in the West when the dust settles. That's how I feel about them. As long as they don't have to face OKC, I would pick them against anybody in the West. I think they get slaughtered in the finals by the Boston Celtics. I think they get slaughtered. And I think they'd lose to OKC. But I got them being better than anybody else in the Western Conference. See, I'm going to say that. Shannon, Lakers are 5. He don't mean it, y'all.
Let's hear what the former NBA player has to say about it. Carlos, where are you on this?
They've been great. When they had that stretch of winning 8 in a row, their defense was number 1 in the league. They were rebounding the basketball. They were getting down passing lanes. Their defense was creating offense, which we like to see. They got 2 of the best guys on the planet with the ball in their hand. Luke and LeBron make great decisions. They score for themselves. They score for their teammates to get everybody open. These last couple games, to Shannon's point, they gave up 70 points in the paint to the Chicago Bulls, who are fighting for the 10th spot in the Eastern Conference. Let's call it what it is. Paolo and Franz Wagner are ballers in Orlando. There was a stretch in that third quarter where it was 41-15 in Orlando Magic's favor. They took control of that basketball game going into the fourth quarter. They got to get their defense together. I know Rui Hachimura is back, which is a great sign. He's got to get back to playing the way he was playing before he got hurt. LeBron's back now. I know you want to go into the playoffs as healthy as possible, but you also want to go into the playoffs like 3rd, 4th, 5th seed. You don't want to drop all the way down to the 6th, 7th seed, right? You got 10 games left. You want to go into the playoffs feeling well, so JJ has a good feeling for his team in the playoffs.
Well, the problem that's happening, guys, is that if you look at the third quarter, when their offense starts to struggle, they just start playing defense. They're looking at the official. I got fouled. They got complained, and guys are getting out in transition and laying the ball up. Guys are getting uncontested shots. So what's happening is they're allowing their offense to impact their defense, and you can't have that. Just defend. Stephen A., you mentioned like LeBron and Luka, they've shot 50%. Hell, but they're letting the other team shoot 60%. That's why you getting blown out by the number you blown out. Yeah, you can shoot 50%, and that's really good. But if you let...
Whoa. I want to make sure I
What?
caught something that my ears heard correctly. Are you saying that LeBron hasn't been playing defense?
No, LeBron, listen, we know this. I've seen LeBron before have this injury. It takes him like 4 or 5 games because the last thing you want to do, Boo, you know you probably had this growing injury, is that anything sudden, that's what happens with growing. So it's going to take him a while to get like, you know what, I'm 100%. Because in that footage that we showed, did you see how he was scrambling when they knocked the ball out of Aaron Gordon's on that dunk? Did you see how he was all over the court? Only water covers more of the earth than LeBron James in his prime. You know, he had 1/4 and the water covered 3/4. That was the only thing that covered more of the earth than GOAT James. Don't do that, Stephen A. He'll be just fine. You watch us. Don't matter.
I got one more question for both of you guys. So in the beginning of games, Luka really dominates the first quarters, 10, 12 points a game in the first quarter.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, it seems to me like he's deferring a lot to Bron, making plays for his teammates. What do you guys feel about that? Do you think Luka needs to be more dominant in the fourth quarter?
I feel he has to be ball. I think he has to be ball dominant. LeBron James treating him like a wideout. I think that's very, very effective. You get him the ball when you particularly late in games, but the ball has to start in the hands of Luka. Luka's a tremendous passer. He can make things happen. He draws double coverage. Obviously, that attention that he draws frees up opportunities for other dudes, and it certainly could end up freeing up opportunities for LeBron James because Austin Reeves has elevated his level of play. We can't ignore that. He's been the big time third option, so we got to pay attention to all of that as well. But in the end, Luka was brought here to have the ball in his hands, and when the Lakers were rolling, that was what was going on. LeBron gets hurt, obviously, that changes things up a little bit. They've lost 7 of their last 10. They've lost 3 straight. It's not that LeBron James doesn't need to shoot the ball. It's that the ball needs to start off in Luka's hands. Luka doesn't need to be a spectator. Luka needs to be active in order for the Lakers to be activated. That's really what this comes down to.
Right. If you look at it, Luka, the game against Chicago, what did he have, 29 at the half, Booze? You look at last night, I think he had 21 at the half, and then he had minimal points in the second half. I think he only had 5 against Chicago, and I think he had like 6 or 7 last night.
11.
He'd have to do a better job. Close it out. Look, so in a situation like this, guys, if you feel that LeBron is not where he needs to be, hey, LeBron will stand down. LeBron ain't got no problem with that because Luka has it going in the first half. In first quarter, he's on fire. So let's just keep it going. But don't you worry about this, Stephen A. We'll have this talk. I'll reconvene with you next Monday after we done won 3 in a row.
All I know is that I heard Shannon Sharpe questioning the Lakers defense when LeBron was on the basketball court. I just need the record to show that. No matter what he says, he was playing defense with LeBron being on the court. LeBron got to play some defense. That's all.
We got it. And the Lakers are going to win 3 in a row. We'll all revisit this on Monday. I'm really looking forward to it. Don't worry, we've got all the tape. Coming up, Cam Ward's pro day turned heads yesterday and seems a lock to be the number 1 pick in the draft to the Titans. But is that the right call? Stephen A. and Shannon have some thoughts. Jason Tatum goes down with a scary injury. Should the